This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, a frantic search continues for a 2-year-old boy pulled into the water by an alligator at the Grand Floridian Resort at Disney World. It's still being considered a search and rescue operation, but as more time goes by, authorities become more worried about the outcome. More than 50 law enforcement officials are combing the waterways at Disney. At this time, authorities are trying to remain hopeful that the toddler may still be found alive.
We are very hopeful. We are hoping for the best.
But with every passing hour, the mood becomes increasingly grim. 4 gators have already been pulled from the water. The animals will be euthanized and analyzed. The family visiting from Nebraska were on the 3rd day of their vacation on the shores of the Grand Floridian Resort for movie night. The 2-year-old was playing in a few inches of water when the gator snapped him up. The father, just feet away, leapt to his son's rescue, but couldn't free the child before the gator swam away.
These animals are very powerful, incredibly powerful. There's no way you're going to open the jaws of that gator.
The posted signs say no swimming, but they do not mention gators. Children, like this one visiting in March, regularly play on the shores. The mother of this child saying she'll never do that again. Disney, ABC's parent company, says they are deploying all their resources in the search.
We are helping the family and doing everything we can to assist law enforcement.
Again, police say there are no swimming signs at the lagoon where the 2-year-old was snatched by the gator, but police are emphasizing the boy was not swimming and was only wading along the edge of the water. We'll continue to follow this story as more details develop. Here in the Suncoast, a settlement is reached between a former principal and assistant superintendent and the Manatee County School Board. The board voting unanimously to put an end to litigation involving Bob Gagnon. The board approved a settlement agreement last night in which Gagnon will receive $400,000. Gagnon was originally seeking $5 million. Board members say the decision will allow the district to move forward and is the best settlement for all involved. The case stems from Gagnon's dismissal from the district during the Rod Frazier child abuse case. The school board also deciding to move forward with plans to try to renew the half-cent sales tax. The board voting to request the Manatee County Commission put the proposal on the November ballot. The tax will help fund local schools. According to the Bradenton Herald, if approved, a Citizens Oversight Committee will be created to make sure the money is spent on specific projects. The sales tax brings in about $30 million a year for the school district. Parrots from Central Florida will soon be finding a home here on the Suncoast. The Birds of Paradise Sanctuary and Rescue in Bradenton is working with Patty's Parrot Palace in Orlando to find new homes for 46 parrots. The rescue where the birds were housed is closing, and all of the birds were raised by breeders. The rescue says they're in need of funds for vet care and feeding expenses while working to place these birds.
We need a lot of help. 46 birds would be a lot for any one sanctuary or rescue to take in. So we're offering, asking for help from other rescues, sanctuaries, and individuals that just love parrots.
If you're interested in donating or adopting, you can contact Birds of Paradise or Patty's Parrot Place. We have the links on our website at mysuncoast.com. And so far, 30 applications have been submitted. Sound like those birds are going to get the help they need.
Yes.
And what a muggy hot day. I mean, you were mentioning earlier, early this morning, we were already into the 80s.
Hot. At 4 o'clock this morning, I was driving and it was, gosh, it was 80 degrees then.
Yeah, I bet.
And in 15 minutes, it was 82. Isn't that incredible? And it felt as though it was 89 degrees out there. So right now it is 89. That's the actual temperature. Dew points are high. The humidity is moderate. Those winds coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, and that is what is keeping it so oppressively hot. As you can see, well east of I-75, we're looking at temperatures that have already reached 90 degrees in Sebring and Wauchula, and we are not looking at a whole lot in the way of rainfall. Surprisingly, we're not getting any rain. We do have a high pressure system sitting on top of us. That's helping to prevent some of these showers from forming. We've got a little bit of rain down in Charlotte County. It's moving on towards the north and east of I-75. Scott?
All right, Wendy, thank you. Residents upset about a driveway boat ban in Northport have started a petition to get it reversed. The ban restricts homeowners from keeping their boats in their driveways. Some residents have started a petition now to change that ordinance. So far, it's gathered at least 600 signatures on paper and about 180 online. Commissioners hope to have the issue on the agenda for their next meeting in about 2 weeks. Plans are moving forward on a 5-story hotel near Sarasota Memorial Hospital. The California-based developer is ready to spend up to $9 million to turn a Baymont Inn and Suites into a 4 Points by Sheraton hotel. The hotel will be located on US 41 right next to the Midtown Plaza. There are 2 possible designs for the project. One is an Italian Renaissance, the other a more contemporary design.
Well, there's not a lot to choose from, really. If you drive around there, there's nothing of this quality at all that services the neighborhoods and services the hospital.
If approved by the city, the hotel will be only 3.5 or 4-star hotel in the Midtown region of Sarasota. Plans for a new theater could be in the works for Longboat Key. The Longboat Key Foundation has assembled a task force to build a black box theater. That's according to The Observer. The theater will be used as a multi-purpose performance space and could feature everything from cabaret to a touring play. It'll be located on a parcel of land Longboat Key purchased for $1.5 million back in 2014. The foundation is hoping the theater will allow residents to enjoy more cultural amenities and services on the island. Kids in Manatee County are using their lyrical talents to bring more funding to their community center. Check it out.
On the playground is where all the fun begins. Sliding down the slide and hanging on a monkey bone. Upside down, feeling like I'm on Planet Mars.
San Jose's Oasis Community Center has been named one of the top 10 finalists in a national community contest. Their music video, titled Let's Play, is all about having fun on the playground. The center hopes to win a $20,000 grant for new playground equipment. The current playground there is more than 30 years old and is in need of an upgrade. Neighborhoods from across the country submitted videos, and Oasis beat out all of them. Voting for the best video will continue until June 24th. They sound amazing. Hope they win. Time now to get over to the kitchen and check in with ABC 7's culinary director, Judy Gallagher, and she is cooking up today. Hi, Judy.
Hey there, Scott. What an adorable video. I'm voting for them. Today I'm making strawberry rhubarb crisp. It's a throwback for anybody that comes from the north. This time of year, the rhubarb is coming up and it spreads pretty quickly in people's yards, their gardens. If you're looking to find it, sometimes it's hard to find in stores. Call ahead. Fresh Market, I found out, has been carrying it, and you'll need about 4 cups for this recipe. So when you get the stalks, what you want to do is you want to clean them really well. Clean them as if they were a potato because they're in the ground, so they're going to have a lot of sandy dirt on them. Wash them really well, cut off the ends, and then you can chop them up. I've added some raspberries to the strawberries as well because raspberries were on sale. I think you're going to love this recipe. It's pretty easy, and it screams of summertime.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Ford Florida Homes.
By Florida workers.
Because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Attention. This is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
We have a couple of showers that are out in the Gulf of Mexico that have pretty much dissipated, and a few showers well off the southeastern coastline of Florida. And some rains earlier this morning came on through, affecting parts of Charlotte County and even parts of northern Sarasota County into central Manatee County. But that was all this morning, and right now things are very quiet. We've got a couple of showers down to the south in Charlotte County, east of I-75. They're moving off towards the northeast right now. And what we have is some drier air in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's helping to inhibit any kind of formation of showers off the east coast of Florida. And we're not seeing a whole lot of activity along the west coast at this point. And our rain chances today are going to be very low, down to about a 20 to 30% chance throughout the afternoon hours. It is now 89 degrees, and you factor in that humidity, and boy, it feels already as though temperatures are well past 100 degrees. Dew points are high as well, and the winds are coming in right off the Gulf of Mexico, and you add those westerly winds and it just brings about that sticky feel in the air. And that certainly is what's happening along the west coast of Florida. You can see temperatures here very close to 90 degrees, but you move inland and you're already seeing temperatures in the 90s in places like Orlando. It is 90 degrees right now. Wauchula, Sebring, you're reporting 90 degrees at this hour. And right here along the beaches, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-80s, so it's a little bit cooler. Down in Englewood, it's 82 degrees, but then you just go a little farther to the east. Punta Gorda reporting 90 right now. So it's a hot, hot afternoon. And as you can see across the country, we're not seeing a whole lot in the way of wet weather across the southeast. We've got high pressure sitting on top of us. That is the big factor for us right now. That's helping to bring in those winds out of the west at this hour. And it also is helping to produce these feels-like temperatures of 102 to 105 degrees. That's what it feels like out there, even though the high temperature will just be right around that 90-degree mark. Either side of 90 is what we're expecting for the high today. 20% chances of rain. So the rain chances are staying on the low side for this afternoon. A couple of showers may be coming on in over the panhandle of Florida, and later this afternoon we might get a couple of showers coming on in with the sea breeze. If you're looking out into the Atlantic, happily there's nothing going on. In the Caribbean, it's nice and quiet as well. We have a little bit of cloud cover down here in the Caribbean, but nothing that is showing any signs of formation. And for boaters today, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 knots. Seas will range 1 to 2 feet. There will be a light chop out on the bay and inland waters. For this morning, of course, we had a high of a temperature reading of 80 degrees, and very quickly we're going to see those temperatures approach 90. Already we're seeing readings in the upper 80s and 90s well to the east of us. That heat index of 102 means you have to keep yourself well hydrated throughout the day. Just keep that in mind. Keep that bottle of water handy. You're going to need it. And as you can see, over the next couple of days, we're going to keep the rain chances low for today and tomorrow, just a 20 to 30% chance of rain. We pick it up a little bit just in time for the weekend. So on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll see a 50% to 40% chance of rain over the upcoming days. Temperature highs stay very close to 90 degrees. Scott?
All right, Wendy, thank you. In health news, a new device for the treatment of obesity is approved by the FDA. The Aspire Assist device is a manual pump that drains food out of your stomach. Surgeons insert a tube in the stomach through a small incision. After a meal, the patient can open the valve and drain stomach contents into the toilet. It also has a safety feature that tracks usage and automatically stops working after a certain number of cycles. The device is meant for obese patients 22 and older who haven't had success with non-surgical weight loss therapy. The stares and occasional comments can sometimes cause pregnant women to question their size and wonder if they're too big or too small. But a healthy weight means a healthy baby. The National Institutes of Health recommends that women who begin pregnancy at a healthy weight or normal body mass index should gain between 25 to 35 pounds. First-time moms often make the mistake of thinking that they need to eat a lot more to accommodate their growing baby, but overeating can actually cause hypertension or diabetes. Women actually only need about 300 extra calories a day for a single pregnancy. And if you do need advice about the size or shape of your belly, listen to your doctor because, they know better.
The most important thing would be not to compare yourself to anyone else. We're all unique individuals, and your pregnancy is going to be different from someone else. So you should listen to your body. You should absolutely check in with your provider. You can do some research on your own if you'd like, but certainly your provider is going to be the #1 person to get pertinent medical information from.
It's also important for pregnant moms to get regular pregnancy-safe exercise, but also don't worry about dieting during pregnancy, but rather focus on eating nutrient-dense foods and keeping hydrated instead. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we're learning more about the shooter behind the nightclub shootings in Orlando by those who knew him intimately. But first, a special championship that has senior golfers from all over converging on the Suncoast. Don Brennan will join us in the studio with that story coming up.
Zooming into the Sarasota Bayfront.
The all-new official Suncoast forecast, only on ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida. It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say,
Hey, Culligan man.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their fourth member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
The Tampa Bay Rays are joining the global outpouring of support for the victims of the Orlando nightclub shooting. The team is dedicating its annual Pride Night to the victims. All proceeds from the game will benefit the Pulse Victims Fund, which has been set up for families of the victims. One Blood will also be holding blood drives at Tropicana Field. This is on Friday night. Available seats for the game will cost just $5, so it's very affordable to go to the game for a great cause. The Florida State Golf Association chose Sarasota to be the site of the Senior Amateur Match Play Championships. ABC 7's Don Brennan was out there today to see how it was all coming along. A lot of good golfers here, huh?
Yeah, there definitely were. And you know, it's been hot, muggy, extremely hot, muggy, and rainy. So it's been a little challenging, but they say it never rains on the golf course. And at the Founders Club, they hosted the event, and it looked like it hadn't rained at all. 83 golfers teed off on Monday in the senior and super senior divisions, and this morning was the quarterfinals at the Founders Club.
We became the host as we have a couple members that are involved with rules and competition with the Florida State Golf Association. Founders Club decided this would be a worthwhile organization to bring some of the best golfers in the state of Florida here in the senior division.
Jerry Rose plays out of the Founders Club, so he has a home course advantage, and he has taken advantage of it. He beat Neil Van Leeuwen 1-up this morning and will play Kevin Macy from Tampa in the semifinals this afternoon.
Participants coming from all over the state have come here to the Founders Golf Club here in Sarasota to play their annual match play tournament.
The golf has been riveting, but maybe the most amazing aspect is the fact that with all the rain we've had, the course is in world-class shape.
Our golf course superintendent, who deserves a big note of gratitude, Mark Nikorchuk, has been dealing a little bit with Mother Nature here, but Mark and his team have just been outstanding getting this golf course ready. And I think we've done our membership justice this week.
Well, they just teed off for the semifinals this afternoon, and Greg Van Loo of Lakewood Ranch plays Robert Lundquist actually in the super senior semifinals. So Van Loo may be playing for a title tomorrow, and Rose also. And you said you love match play.
Played it quite a bit in junior golf, and I thought it was so fun because you could have a horrible hole and you just lose one hole. It's not like you've gained 5 strokes on your round.
I think I like this. I think.
Good for both of us. All right, Donnie, thank you so much. Let's get back to the kitchen now and check in with Chef Judy.
So I've already sliced the strawberries in half, obviously washed them, and like I mentioned, I have some beautiful raspberries because they were on sale. So I decided to add it in the rhubarb. I washed the rhubarb. Remember I said wash it very well. It's going to be very sandy. And then I cut it up into chunks. We're going to spray 8 by 11 inch pan. Then we're going to do, about 2 tablespoons of orange zest. And the orange is really appealing in this because it just makes a little pop. You don't want it too sweet from the berries. And of course, the rhubarb is very tart, gives it a tangy, so this is going to give it a balance out. What we're going to do is we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar into the berry and the rhubarb mixture. So there we go. That almost makes, there we go, 3/4 of a cup, okay, great, of your standard white granulated sugar. And then we're going to mix in, I'm going to put that all in, and the pan's big enough. We've sprayed it with food spray. Underneath it I have parchment paper in case this does bubble. What happens is the fruit almost makes a syrup, and what I don't want it to do is to ruin your cookie sheet. This is a great way when you're making pies and crumbles and cobblers is to keep that parchment paper underneath on a pan so it can just catch everything. So now we're going to mix this, make sure that rhubarb, it's not just layers of it, it's really mixed in with the berries. So every bite you get some of the tart, you get the berries and that orange zest. That's going to be perfect. Now let's come over here, and I have a tablespoon of cornstarch. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and add about 3/4 of a cup of fresh squeezed orange juice. And I usually just use the juice from the oranges that I've been zesting. And this is going to make what we call a slurry. Now this is going to go right into our fruit mixture, and we're going to stir that around some more. You don't have to cook it at all because it's going to bake as all the crumble bakes in the oven. So give it a good stir. And this should be just about ready to go. This is also a great dish when you use an individual big casserole dishes. When we come back, it's time to make the topping of the crumble. So stay with me. I'm coming back with some delicious berry rhubarb crumble.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits in the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150. Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. Sarasota.Ford.com.
Did you know? Many dogs are returned to shelters simply because they lack obedience. Contact Canine Corral about various training programs. We train dogs and their owners. Canine Corral, where the love is.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Police are looking more closely at the wife of the man who killed 49 people and injured dozens more at an Orlando nightclub. Investigators say Noor Salman, the wife of shooter Omar Mateen, is cooperating with the FBI after being shown footage of herself with Mateen at various Orlando locations. Salman allegedly went with her husband to buy ammo, and they had been to the Pulse nightclub together at least once. So far, a portrait of the shooter paints a picture of a man married twice and who disowned homosexuality.
It is especially really looked down upon and disgraced, and could shame the entire family just knowing that one person in your family is homosexual. And it doesn't surprise me that he might be gay, and it doesn't surprise me that he was leading two totally different lives and was in such deep conflict within himself.
It's not clear whether Salman knew the specifics of her husband's plan to commit mass murder or that he had been investigated for terrorism by the FBI. Another candlelight vigil is planned for victims and families tonight. It'll be held in the playground area at the Bradenton Riverwalk this evening at 8 o'clock. If you'd like to attend, you're asked to bring a long stick candle. The Orlando attack is sparking a war of words between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. President Obama unleashing his toughest attack to date on Trump's proposed Muslim ban, calling his ideas un-American, saying having a war on an entire religion is doing the terrorist work for them. Trump has repeatedly criticized the president for not using the term radical Islamic terrorism, but Hillary Clinton says his attack on the president is a distraction. Trump fired back at the comments at a rally last night.
He was more angry at me than he was at the shooter. That's the kind of anger he should have for the shooter and these killers that shouldn't be here.
He has to distract us
from the fact he has nothing substantive to say. We don't need conspiracy theories and pathological self-congratulations. We need leadership, common sense, and concrete plans because we are facing a brutal enemy.
According to a new Washington Post ABC News poll, 7 out of 10 Americans have an unfavorable opinion of Trump. That number is 89% among Hispanics. The numbers are a significant reversal from a few weeks ago when Trump's polling seemed to be trending upward. There could be some slight changes in our interest rates policy. The Federal Reserve is wrapping up a 2-day policy meeting today. The U.S. Central Bank has been expected to eventually raise rates again. But this month, the government caught the financial world off guard when it reported employers added about 38,000 jobs in May. That's the weakest gain in about 5 years. An updated policy statement on the economy and interest rates will be released later today. The National Aquarium in Baltimore is getting a thumbs up from animal rights activists for deciding to relocate its dolphins to a seaside sanctuary. The aquarium plans to build the first dolphin sanctuary in North America. It will be at least 10 times larger than the current 1.3 million gallon exhibit and will resemble their natural environment. The sanctuary will allow the animals to express natural behaviors such as forming social groups. Officials are still trying to find, though, the best possible location for this sanctuary. Until then, the dolphins will be kept at the aquarium.
Someone has to take the responsibility. What better place than an aquarium?
We really want to make sure that we're seeing to their best interest, to their welfare.
The National Aquarium has kept and cared for dolphins for 25 years. The protected habitat is set to be completed by the year 2020.
Our pool looks good,
yeah,
doesn't
it? Sure does. Yeah,
Oh, man.
Wendy's in for John today, and yeah, it's just been kind of oppressive all week, hasn't it?
It's just brutal out there, and it's not dry because it's humid out there, but we've got that high pressure system sitting on top of us. It's like a dome of fair weather for us. So the rain chances are low. That would help to cool us off, even just incrementally. But right now it's 89 degrees out there. The dew point is high, the humidity is moderate. Winds are coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. That's not helping things. And as you can see, east of I-75, we now have several places reporting temperatures at 90 or 91 degrees. So it's hot out there, and we don't have a lot in the way of rainfall. Earlier this morning, we had a couple of showers out in the Gulf of Mexico. Those have since dissipated. Other showers are forming down to the south in Miami, but not much is going on here. A few showers over central Charlotte County right now, east of I-75 and moving to the northeast.
All right, Wendy, thank you. A major recall is underway for BMW. The German automaker is recalling 622,000 of its SUVs worldwide because child seat anchors may become damaged and won't hold the seat properly. The recall covers some X3 SUVs from the 2011 to 2017 model years, as well as some X4s from 2015 to 2017. BMW says the anchor bars for child seats can be damaged when people use European-style child seats, but most child seats in the U.S. have flexible latch connectors that do not cause this problem. And the Kellogg Company is voluntarily recalling a variety of snacks over fears of peanut residue contamination. The cookies and brownies are linked to flour company Graincraft, which recalled wheat flour that had the potential to contain the peanut residue. Some of the treats affected include the Keebler, Famous Amos, Kellogg Special K, Mothers and Murray lines. So far, no reports of any illnesses have been reported. Two major publications that have chronicled African American life for the past 71 years have been sold. Johnson Publishing Company selling ebony and digital-only Jet magazine to a private Texas equity firm. The company will still retain its fashion fair and its photo archive, which is also for sale. Ebony magazine was founded by John Johnson back in 1945, but it has been hit by declining circulation and revenues in recent years. Well, it has been more than 150 years now since one of the darkest chapters in our country ended, but it took 2 years for some enslaved African Americans living in Texas to learn that the Civil War had ended and that slavery had been abolished. That was in June of 1865, and since then, African Americans have celebrated something called Juneteenth, also known as Emancipation Day. Now, this weekend, a local organization will be commemorating Juneteenth with a fundraising gala. And joining us now to tell us more is Carolyn Glenn, the president of the nonprofit Unconditional Love for Children. Carolyn, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for allowing me to be on your program. I'm happy to be here.
Our pleasure. Well, can you tell me more about the powerful meaning of Juneteenth and the impact it has on you?
Well, you said the word, it's powerful. It's a powerful event that gives us the occasion to not only celebrate our freedom from slavery, but it allows us to celebrate our accomplishments, and it gives us the opportunity to come together with other cultures and learn more about one another. You know, communication, Scott, is the basis for solving all problems. And the problems between the races, the things that you discuss every day in the news, when we hear these horrific clashes with cultures. But this is going to be our effort in the Sarasota, Manatee communities to bring people together and learn to love and respect one another and our cultures.
Well, tell us more about this gala that's set for Saturday that will benefit in part your organization, Unconditional Love for Children. Tell us how that money will be raised for your organization.
Though it's a sold-out event, and we're happy about that, not so happy about the hot weather, but we understand maybe it won't be rain. But this event, we're just excited because more than 250 residents and people from other states are coming, and we're going to be dressed in African attire. People from other cultures, we're going to be dressed in African attire. We're going to eat the traditional foods of Juneteenth. We're going to have the West Coast Black Theater to do a reenactment of Juneteenth. We have storyteller Mary Kelly, who will do a rendition of Harriet Tubman. So it's going to be a fun-filled day. We will be on the event will be on at a private home on the Sarasota Bay. So we're just really excited about it. And though it's a sold-out event, your viewers can still participate in our efforts to help the children in Jamaica that are in an impoverished community and really, really need the help. These children go to school, they can walk 5 miles one way to school. They eat no breakfast or lunch. They have no cook. They're just really in dire straits. But most of all, when they finish the 6th grade, if they do not pass a national test, their education is virtually ended. So we address basic skills to help them, to help low achievers. We pay for teachers. We pay extra teachers to come in and to work with low achievers. We pay the regular staff of teachers stipends for extended day to tutor the children. So we are really, really involved. We provide infrastructure. We provide enrichment activities. We do an annual mission trip. We do summer camp in connection with Georgia State University and a study abroad program. So we have lots of opportunity for people in this community to participate. And the Booker Middle School students send food. They collect, package, and ship food to the students at least quarterly. So it's a collaborative effort.
It sure sounds like it, and getting kids involved, I think, is a wonderful thing to do as well here on the Suncoast. Carolyn, thank you so much. The best of luck with the event this weekend and your efforts beyond that for the children in Jamaica. We appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Let's get back to the kitchen now and check in with lunch and Judy Gallagher cooking up something delicious today. Rhubarb. I haven't heard that before in your kitchen, Judy.
I know. Well, and that's because I'm not a huge fan of rhubarb, I have to admit, but almost everybody is. So I'm happy to make it for a dish to bring to a friend's house for July 4th, because I know everybody from the north really loves that. And I think if you haven't tried it, it's really fun to try it with the strawberries. So we already have the strawberries and the raspberries and the rhubarb together, and we have tossed that with sugar, and then we diluted some cornstarch. That'll be the thickener right there. Now let's talk about the topping. We're going to use quick oats, not instant oats, but quick oats. A cup of that, a cup of flour. We're going to have some kosher salt, and it's interesting how baking nowadays are bringing in kosher salt instead of the more refined salt. And of course, we're going to add some brown sugar, because if you say any type of crisp or crumble, it's got to have some brown sugar in there. Now, if you get to your brown sugar and you notice it's kind of chunky and hard balls, a great cooking tip is just take a wedge of apple and put that apple in the plastic bag with the brown sugar, and in 2 days it will be nice and soft. Now you can use either your regular mixer on this, or you can use what I'm using is my food processor to start. So we've mixed that around pretty easily. Now what I want to do is I want to start adding the butter. We're adding the butter just the same way that we would nice cold pieces. We're going to add it just the same way we would in a pie. So let's just add a few of those diced pieces. And I prefer to use unsalted butter when I'm baking, because we've already added the salt for the chemical reaction. So real quick on the butter, we don't want to do it too much, and then you'll take this off and you'll do some more. So a little work of love. But again, the butter needs to be very, very cold. So here we go. We'll put in a little bit more, and when we go on break, I'll continue to finish that off for you. I've made up some whipped cream, homemade whipped cream. It's also really nice if you want to use like a lemon gelato on top. And for those chocolate lovers, I haven't forgotten about you. I found a great, it's called Love Crunch. It's an organic granola and has chocolate chunks in it and dried red berries. And that makes a really nice addition to the crumble. So I'm going to put the topping on. It's going to go in the oven at 350 just for about an hour. And when it comes out, it's going to look so golden delicious. When I come back, I'll plate up and get Wendy's dessert ready for.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
The ability to go to college on a Bright Future Scholarship gave me personally the flexibility to chase a dream. To not have to worry about paying for your college education was absolutely amazing. One step better than that was to leave with no loans. I mean, to start a life, to start a job, to start without having a debt was amazing, and it allowed me to get to where I'm at today.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
We're keeping the rain out of the forecast for the most part today. Only a 20% chance of rain, and there's not very much going on right now. The showers down to the south in Charlotte County are moving off towards the north and east of I-75. We have some drier air that's forming and moving its way across central Florida. That's helping to inhibit some of these showers for us. So we're going to keep those rain chances down to about a 20 to 30% chance for later on this afternoon. We can't do anything about the heat. It is hot, 89 degrees. Temperatures already feel as though they're past 100 degrees at this point, and many areas are actually in the 90s, as you can see around the state, especially well east of I-75 and over the central part of the state. We've already have temperatures at 90 to 91 degrees, and at the beaches we're looking at temperatures that are a little bit more comfortable, so that's where you need to go to find some comfort today. Head to the beach if you can. That high pressure system is sitting on top of us right now. That's helping to prevent the formation of some of these showers. So the temperatures, however, are feeling as though they're 102 to 105. That's the range for today, even though the actual temperature will be right around that 90-degree mark. And again, we're only looking for a 20% chance of rain for later on today. This is what it looks like for our future cast. You can see just a couple of showers diving down across the panhandle of Florida. Later this afternoon, we'll get some of the rains that'll come on through, but notice how widely scattered they are. So it's not going to be a rain event. Most of the showers will be well to the south of us. And as far as the tropics are concerned, it's nice and quiet out here as well. So we've got that drier air that's sitting off the Atlantic. That's not posing any problems. And you can see just a few showers developing down to the south in the Caribbean, but nothing that's showing any signs of formation. And so as we head on out to the beaches today, which is where you're going to be able to cool off just a little bit, those winds are coming in out of the southwest at 10 knots. Seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out on the bay and inland waters. For later on this afternoon, we're looking at a high of about 90 degrees. Remember, that heat index is high at 102 to 105. So keep in mind that you need to make sure you're well hydrated. Keep that bottle of water close by and drink it. You'll need it. A 20% chance of rain for later on today. And over the next several days, those temperatures stay in the very close to 90-degree range, and we're looking for a 20 to 30% chance of rain today and tomorrow. Scott?
Thank you, Wendy. A new exhibition is taking over the Ringley Museum of Art. This show features photography from its permanent collection and is on display until September 25th. The Ringling's Alice Murphy shows us more.
The subject of the nude human body has played an esteemed role in the history of Western art for millennia. This exhibition, Exposure, Naked Before the Lens, presents the many ways in which 20th and 21st century photographers have shown the undressed human form in their work.
Throughout the history of photography, from its origins in the mid-19th century, is this really an art form? Can photography be a fine art form? And I think at this point we've established that yes, of course, it is. We consider it to be. But a lot of the artists who are on display here in this exhibition were sort of fighting against that idea that photography isn't an art, or that photographs of the nude form are somehow illicit, whereas paintings or drawings of the nude form are fine art. We see such a variety of approaches to the nude. Some we might think of as being erotically charged. Others show scenes of a nudist colony, a regular middle-class family who just happen to be nudists, for example. So we see that in different contexts, nudity can have very different meanings. And typically when we see photographs, so we think about the presence of the model, the photographer there, and what sort of relationship was created in that act of photographing. Throughout most of the 20th century, the typical nude, what was expected and what was sort of accepted too, even in a fine art setting, was the relationship of a male photographer and a female nude. And it was seen as being unacceptable, taboo, to show male nudes in a gallery setting, because it was seen as being too homoerotic. I thought it was really fascinating, just sort of exploration of that role between photographer and model in the instance of photographing. And from that, I sort of thought about the rest of the kind of the history of photography and the history of the nude in photography. And so when I was doing research, I, whenever possible, tried to look up who the model was in a particular photo, and to present some of that information in the labels on display, to kind of think about what motivated the photographer and perhaps the model and what relationship they had.
Allison Christopher, thank you. Again, that's on display through September. Drone, robots, and remote-controlled cars are just a few of the pieces you can find at Art Sarasota's latest exhibit. The post-digital exhibit features 25 artists, mostly from the Sarasota area, and spans 3 galleries. But what makes the gallery so special is its innovation from its artists. For example, some pieces contain hidden QR codes that can only be decoded through an app called Erasma. Now, within the ever-changing world of technology, digital art will continue to be a growing trend.
When you look at things like the things from the Fab Lab and these young kids using technology to create pieces of art, that's just what they're growing up with, and you're going to see so much more. We hope that people are still going to use their hand and paintbrushes and pencils, but there's going to be a lot more technology incorporated into art.
If you'd like to see the exhibit, you better hurry. The art will be on display until June 25th. However, there will be a free closing party the day before where the artists will be present to talk about their creations. For the first time ever, a British royal has been photographed for a gay publication, but it's for a good cause, we'll explain. And Disney's hoping to revive its iconic magic at its newest theme park in China. All that coming up next in entertainment news.
My dad is my hero, and I wanted to give him a chance to live life and be happy. Granny Nannies has been a huge help. It has contributed to the health and happiness of my dad, for sure.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves on providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction. To list your home with SWC, give us a call, and don't forget to watch the House to Home show every Saturday night here on ABC 7. It's simple. We just market your home better.
ABC 7's Pump Patrol, a list of the Suncoast's cheapest gas on mysuncoast.com.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
The home at 200 Pine Street. The agent. The office. The agent out of the office. This is what you see. This is what you don't see. The hustle. The huddle. The drawing board. The shuffle. The open house. The bees buzzing. The buyer. The gentle nudge. The leap of faith. The offer. The negotiation. The pit bull. Finding the middle ground. The sigh of relief. The close. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say, "Hey, Culligan man."
When you don't know who you are, you can be anyone you want to be. You're coming with me.
Ooh, where are we going?
To the most wondrous place in the world.
Roll up, Tanglefield's Traveling Circus is here!
This isn't a fairy story. People don't always live happily ever after. But we will. I'm Hetty Feather, and this is my story.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Granny Nannies. We've been making house calls for over 25 years. When you need home health care services, there really is no place like home.
Grandma! A helping hand and a gentle heart.
I think you all heard it earlier that Judy made this just for me. So I know you said this was for Charlie. But I
Sorry,
think I'm
Charlie.
Take this. Sorry,
I love
Charlie.
it. Sorry, Charlie. You get the little portion. So we have that berry raspberry rhubarb with the crumble topping, and of course homemade whipped cream. And Wendy, it's really fun if you're a chocolate lover, to throw a little handful of the chocolate granola. So I just serve it on a narrow dish, and it really makes a really fancy presentation with some fresh berries on the side, a little bit of the chocolate granola. So dig in and let me know.
And I have to say, that tip that you gave about putting in the apple when you have
the brown sugar.
What a great idea.
Works like a charm. Don't we always have a little bit of hard brown sugar, and you don't want to run out in the middle of baking to get some more. So it's better if it sits a day or two, but even within a few hours, it'll moisten it up.
And I have to tell you, you can get this recipe by going to our mysuncoast.com/dining page.
You got it.
I got
Find
it.
out all about the restaurants, lots of more reviews, travel, culinary articles,
And great
everything.
tips.
And
Great tips, too. And we'll be right back.
Nope, we're going to Scott.
Oh, going to Scott.
Thank you both. Prince William is showing his solidarity towards the LGBT community. He's appearing on the UK gay magazine Attitude to speak out against bullying people because of their sexuality. William says no one should be bullied for their sexuality or any other reason, and those who are should seek help. Yesterday, he signed a book of condolence for the victims of the Orlando mass shooting. Prince is the first member of the royal family to appear on the cover of a gay publication. Disney is expecting big things from the new Shanghai Disney Resort, the entertainment giant's first park on the mainland China. It took 5 years to build and cost about $5.5 billion. It sits on 963 acres and has a staff of 10,000 people. Since its preview opening in May, it's already welcomed 1 million visitors. Analysts predict the resort will draw 50 million visitors a year. The CEO says it's designed to be authentically Disney, but also distinctly Chinese. The park's official opening to the public is tomorrow. How about that?
Wow.
I wonder if this is going to keep some of them from traveling to Florida.
You know, that's an excellent point.
To go to Disney World.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
They'll have it
maybe
there at
we
home.
need to go to Shanghai. There's very good food in Shanghai.
Yeah, I bet.
Just
I don't know. I don't know that they've ever had anything as wonderful as this. If you love strawberry rhubarb, this is just an excellent recipe.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is really very good. I happen to love strawberry rhubarb, so thank you.
Thank you. You'll get a peach cobbler for
Okay.
Father's Day, buddy.
Have a good afternoon.